Let's review some good, mature smelling, affordable cologne fragrances from the brands of French Avenue, Paris Corner and Fomo today, shall we? But before we do, you know that I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman, and it's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content. The three fragrances that I'm going to review quickly in today's video are going again from Fomo. It's called The Envy of Fomo, Le Parfum. From Paris Corner is called Trillium, and the one from French Avenue is called Pinnace Oryn. So I'm going to start with the one from Fomo, which is called The Envy of Fomo Le Parfum. This is the packaging of the fragrance, comes very similarly packaged to the other fragrances from that very same brand. The bottle design is exactly the same. The only difference here is the accent color, which in the case of the Envy of Fomo is this green color, which in my opinion replicates quite well the way that this fragrance smells. Now, the Envy of Fomo is a clone of Gucci Envy, a fragrance that is a sort of a darling of the community, something that's been discontinued for a while. It's very hard to find. Prices on a new bottle can reach absurdly high level, but luckily enough, Envy, Fomo have done a good job with the Envy of Fomo, releasing a lot cheaper alternative to the original fragrance. The sprayer is great, it's pressurized, has really nice distribution, the bottle has nice heft to get a metallic cap. Again, the presentation of Fomo fragrances is actually very nice. And the scent itself smells very similar to the original fragrance. It's very green, it's kind of aromatic, there's a hint of citruses in the opening, there's quite a bit of spiciness as well. It's quite woody, quite musky, on the dry down especially becomes quite woody. There's some sweetness, vanillic and ambery sweetness, and a lot of musk. Now, it's also a bit floral as well. Now, when I initially got my bottle about 2 months ago, it used to have a very sharp opening. It felt kind of animalic, and I think it was down to the very strong musky note that this fragrance has. Now, about 2 months of sitting around, aging, maceration, whatever you want to call it, has helped a little bit. Now the opening is not as harsh as it once was, although still the opening can be a little bit challenging in my opinion, but gets decently close to the original fragrance. And on the dry down, you start to gradually lose some of that spiciness, some of that citrusy freshness that you get in the opening, and the dry down is a bit floral, it's woody, it's musky, with a bit of sweetness. And it's done in a nice way actually, and again smells pretty similar to the original fragrance. Again, keep in mind that this can be a bit challenging. This definitely, the scent feels quite old school, and it has nothing to do with modern masculine fragrances that are very sweet. This has almost no sweetness at all, a hint of sweetness that balances out the woodiness and that greenness that this fragrance has. It doesn't have like superb quality, keep that in mind, especially in the opening, especially a brand new bottle, but I think at the end of the day it can serve as a good replacement for Gucci Envy. Performance wise, again, more on the moderate side, above moderate, but it's not super strong, at least from my experience. This has lasted somewhere between 6 to 7 hours on my skin, with sort of a moderate projection in the first hour and a half. And price wise, at least, you know, when it comes to my case, I personally paid around about 30 euros to get it, 32, 33 euros, something like that. So close to the $40 mark in the US, which makes it a good deal considering that this smells pretty similar to the long discontinued original fragrance that nowadays tends to go for a crazy amount of money. And versatility wise, this is a versatile masculine fragrance as long as you tolerate green, woody, musky scents, and can be worn pretty much all year round, maybe apart from the hottest months of the year. The next one in line in today's video comes from the brand of French Avenue, part of the Pinnace line, and it's called Pinnace Oryn. It has this very interesting looking packaging, just like the other fragrances from this line. You open the box like this, then you slide this bottom part out in order to get to the bottle. I've always found these bottles from this line of fragrances to have a very interesting and unique design. For me, this looks like a small yacht or a submarine. I've said this many times before. The cap is plastic, but it's a snug fit to get a secure click. And all around the packaging is interesting, if nothing else, interesting and unique. The sprayer is also decent, very decent actually, and this smells nice, smells a bit mature, smells fresh. This fragrance is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Afternoon Swim, and it's actually done very nicely. The opening is bright, is citrusy, you'll get a bergamot note, you get an orange note, a mandarin note, maybe a hint of a lemon note as well, and lots of ginger. So it's a very fresh, very bright, very sort of a nice and easy to take opening with this one. Especially, you know, the ginger note really adds a nice amount of freshness to the other citruses in the opening. When this goes into the dry down, it becomes a little bit, not a little, it becomes musky, it becomes a little bit woody. I think there's some ambergris in this fragrance as well, while you retain a bit of the citrusy sort of freshness on its dry down. The ginger note will stay with you for a while, and also there's a bit of ambery sweetness as well. All around, this smells very nice. Actually, you know, the scent itself is done nicely. There's no harshness or anything like that. It's not challenging at all, and it's a really nice and easy to wear fragrance that scent wise will get you very close to Afternoon Swim. Probably one of the best alternatives, one of the best clones of Afternoon Swim for a fraction of the price. Performance wise, it's a good performer, especially considering that this has sort of a fresh scent profile. On my skin, it tends to last for about 7.5 hours. On clothes, you maybe extend that with a couple of hours. So it has good performance, again, considering that this is a fresh scent, and also projects nicely for the first about hour and a half, and after that it gradually starts to become more of a skin scent. Price wise, this is the most expensive fragrance featured in today's video. Around about at this current time in Europe, this goes for somewhere between 40 to 50 euros, which will make it 50 to 60 dollars. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side. Still costs a fraction of the price of the original one, but keep in mind that this is a little bit more pricey. And versatility wise, now this is in reality a sort of a unisex fragrance that leans to the masculine side, but can be worn pretty much all year round. Has a bit of a mature factor, just like anything else that I've showed you up to this point, that I'm going to show you in today's video. But definitely this is a fragrance that works best in warm weather. And the last one that I'm going to talk about today, of course, is called Trillium. It comes from the brand of Paris Corner, and it's again one of those fragrances that come nicely packaged. You get this completely blacked out box with some golden accents. In order to get to the bottle, you slide the inside part of the box out, and you get revealed the way that the bottle looks. It has a bottle design that's very similar to the original fragrance. In case you're wondering and you're not yet sure what this is cloning Elysir Per Homme Cologne Parfum from Roger Dove. I forgot to mention the bottle size of the other fragrances. All three fragrances have a bottle size of 100 milliliters, and all three come in an EDP concentration. I'm going to show you the sprayer in action. This probably has the worst sprayer out of all three fragrances that I'm talking about today, but the scent is really nice, and this smells a lot like the original fragrance. If you're not familiar with the original fragrance, it's this mature, fresh blue scent that opens up with a lot of citruses, grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, lime. You get a bit of a greenness with this fragrance. There's some vetiver with this one. At least I personally pick up a strong vetiver note. There's some fruity sweetness, there's a bit of woodiness, a lot of things are going on with this fragrance, a bit of muskiness as well. But that vetiver note in a way reminds me a little bit of something like Terre d'Hermès, and just adds this mature factor to the whole scent of Trillium, and the same way it does with the original fragrance. All around, again, it's another bright, fruity, slightly sweet, fresh fragrance with a bit of an woody, musky, leathery dry down. Smells really nice. There's some sweetness in it. All around, I'm a really big fan of the original scent profile, and I think Paris Corner have done a good job with Trillium. Performance wise, it's above average, not super strong, but the original one is also not doesn't have performance to write home about, to be honest. This one has been giving me about 7 hours of performance, no more than that. Projection wise, initially it projects nicely for the first about 1 hour. After that, it starts to sit closer to the skin. So performance wise, it's above average, but nothing more than that. Price wise, I personally paid, I think, slightly less than 30 euros, which makes it a great deal compared to the price of the original fragrance, considering that this will get you close scent wise and has pretty much the same performance as the original one. And versatility wise, another super versatile fragrance that can be worn pretty much all year round, has a bit of a mature factor, again, keep that in mind. But the best time to wear this one, again, will be in the warmer months of the year. And at the end of the video, a few quick final thoughts about the 3 fragrances featured today. Fomo, the Envy of Fomo is a nice alternative, a nice clone of Gucci Envy, which has been discontinued for a long time now. Prices on that one can reach absurdly high levels, and this is a very inexpensive way to experience some of that original scent profile. Has a bit of a nostalgic factor, has a bit of an old school scent to it, feels a bit barbershoppy, it's green. It's musky. Just keep in mind that you need to like green and musky fragrances in order to enjoy this one, and you don't mind old school smelling scents. Other than that, I think this is a nice alternative for Gucci Envy. Pinnace Oryn from French Avenue is a great clone of Afternoon Swim from Louis Vuitton. Smells of very nice quality, smells very nice, very bright, very uplifting. It's very easy to wear. Super versatile and has a very decent performance for what it offers as a scent profile, but it's a little bit more on the expensive side, keep that in mind. And Trillium is a nice clone of Elysium. It again will make you smell great. It will make you smell fresh and clean and slightly fruity, woody. This one has a lot of vetiver, so this definitely has quite a bit of a mature factor as well, but all around is done nicely, offers good quality and very decent performance for a fraction of the price of the original fragrance. And so guys, in today's video I reviewed 3 nice smelling affordable clone fragrances that have a bit of a mature factor when it comes to their scents. Trillium from the brand of Paris Corner, Pinnace Oryn from the brand of French Avenue, and the Envy of Fomo from Fomo. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like. I would also like to hear what are your thoughts about the G3 fragrances if you have experienced them. Please use the comment section down below this video to let me know. And until my next video, stay safe and bye bye.